Good morning, party people. Yes, it is still freezing cold here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I am having a very difficult time getting out of Cincinnati. I ordered parts to be installed on cars November 17th and still haven't gotten them. Shipping has gone to the dogs. Horrible. I want to thank everybody for their comments about car values and what they think a car is and is not worth. Let me tell you a quick story. I had a 960, spotless, well taken care of. I was in real estate at the time, selling real estate, taking customers around in it. Unfortunately, my daughter got into a little fender bender with it. Crashed the car. She hit a little light pole on the side of the street. Pole came down, whiplashed, put a big dent in the roof. Anyway, I got the car fixed. A few months later, had a situation in the family where I needed a station wagon more than a sedan. So I put the car up for sale. The car was fixed, but I did disclose to people that State Farm gave me a total payout on the car, even though they didn't salvage it. So, Kelley Blue Book. Man, values on that site change by the hour. I wouldn't value my sneakers on that dang site. Anyway, people was contacting me, telling me that Kelley Blue Book was $1,800, $2,300, $2,700. I was asking $4,500 for the car. The insurance company just totaled it out for like $4,800 just a couple of months prior. Anyway, I sold a car in like 2 or 3 days for $4,300. I gave the lady a 90-day warranty. I told her I had no concerns of anything going wrong with that car for several months. So she bought the car $4,300 cash when people was offering me $1,800, stuff like that. Man, I am not concerned about what people value cars for. I know when a car is a good car. I know when it's a competitive price. Right now, on NADA Guides, which is the place that I value cars at, because that's what insurance companies usually use. This V70R that me and this guy have up for sale, the low price is $3,300. So $2,945 is well within its reasonable range. If you buy a car for under $2,000, do not expect to drive that car long without putting some major money into it. Any running car that you could put a key in, start it up and drive is worth $1,500. And if it has recent maintenance like timing belts, tires and stuff like that, man, that's worth another $15 easy. So say what you want to say. If you don't want to buy it, that's fine. Most of you guys don't even need a car, so I understand. Anyway, still in Cincinnati, trying to get some work done and get out of here, still waiting on parts. Man, this is cramping my style up here in the cold. In the next day or two, I'm going to post a video, probably my top 5 favorite tools that some of you may want to put on your Christmas wish list. So look out for that. You can pass that video on to loved ones that have a few dollars to buy you gifts, So other than that, hey, stay cool, which is easy to do here in Ohio. And I heard it snowed in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Brr. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day. I'm going to try to finish up Lil'Red today down here in this shop. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I tinker with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. This video also has tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So, thank you very much for watching. What's happening, party people? I am in a top secret location in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. I'm getting ready to work on Lil'Red. I'm going to do CV axle boots, replace a door, fix a glove box, check a couple other suspension things, work on the rear parking brakes. Man, we are hanging out with Ferraris and stuff like that. I think that's a 350. So anyway, I'm going to get started. I'm going to break the CV axles loose. Both sides are torn up. I'm going to break the lug nuts loose. Then I'm going to jack this car up, take the wheels off, pull these CV axles, and get started. Let's get started. I was going to start with the CV axles, but I think I'm going to start with a small win. The glove box, Elizabeth said, was not staying closed, so I got another glove box door, same color. Got it from Ryan yesterday. I'm going to see what's going on with that, if it's just a latch situation or if something else is wrong. And I'm going to transfer the key over. Man, you rather have these things break in the open position other than close. So I'm looking at the pull a lever thing, and it doesn't seem to be doing nothing to that. So I'm going to see if I can get that to latch and see if it works any better. Let me see if it'll close and latch. Nope, not seeming like it's latching. So I'm going to pull this screw, and this screw. That'll let this piece come off so that I can see what's going on there. I see that the key deal is not working right. So let's pull this off, see what's going on. Pull these 3 screws. I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver or something, pry that out of there. That's in there tighter than I thought. Let me go grab a screwdriver. Of course, a bone tool would be best, but I use what I got. I'm gonna take 2 hands to get this thing out of here. Let me get 2 hands. Pull this out, immediately see broken pieces in here. So nothing's connected from here over to here. So let me grab the other door I have and replace this part here. I got, looks like a T10, 4 or 5 T10s I'm gonna pull out to pull this piece out and just replace that piece. And I'm gonna switch the locking mechanism over to that. Because that's not being able to hold that close. Sad to say, this latch is busted too. There's supposed to be a piece of plastic that cups over that. However, it does work even though it's broke. So I'm going to switch it over anyway. Let me pull these screws out. These 4 screws. And see where I got to go from there. So I'm going to take these screws out. Take the glove box sleeve out. Pop these 2 arms loose. And then get the 2 screws. Take the glove box door off. Here's the back of the latch. I'm going to change the key barrel. I'm going to put a screwdriver under here, pop this up. Kind of like this, just pry it under there, pop that loose. Then I'm going to do the same here, pop this loose. Then I'm going to spread this open just a little bit so I can push the tip of that down, get that key barrel out. This is the key barrel. Flip this over. Slide this in there, lock it in place, and you should be good to go. Just like that. Now put that arm back over there, attach this back to the door, then you'll be like this, and the door works again. Make sure you don't over tighten these screws you're putting in here. If you do, you'll break the plastic caps like you see here. So just put them in, snug them down, and that's that. Try not to get your screws mixed up. The heads of these that go around here and on your hinges are bigger than the heads that go in here. These are smaller. Now it opens and closes and it locks. So we are good to go. Now I'm going to break these CV axle nuts loose. I got my cheater and my 36 millimeter. Well, it's over here somewhere. And that's my cheater bar. I could just break them loose with Henrietta, but I'm going to break them loose with this cheater bar. Less destructive. There it is there. I decided to lift the whole side of the car up because I got to do the parking brake on that side. And I need to do a brake bleed. So I'm going to bleed that caliper back there when I do the parking brake. So I'm going to do the CV axle. I'm going to reset those brake discs because they're squealing. I'm going to bleed the brake and change the parking brakes. That's the boot that's torn. That boot in there still looks good. So I'm going to take the control arm bolt loose there, pivot this out, push this CV axle out, then get those two bolts there, and then take the axle out of the transmission. In this video, we're going to be replacing the CV axle on the passenger side of this front wheel drive Volvo. The difference between the passenger side and the driver's side is you got a courier bearing bracket right there. You take those two bolts out, you pull that out, then you do everything else to get this axle out of the hub, and then it easily pulls out of the transmission. You don't need any tools or anything. It'll slide right out. If you don't have a big, powerful electric or pneumatic drill like that, you want to break this bolt loose when the vehicle is on the ground. You use the socket, a long breaker bar, and then you use a long cheater like I have on the other side there, that 4-foot cheater. Turn it counterclockwise, break it loose, break the lug nuts loose, then jack it up, pull the wheel off. Now you're close to having it loose. Next, I'm going to take the control arm bolts loose there. That's the easiest ones to get out that will not mess with your alignment. If you're going to get in alignment, you might want to just go ahead and take these two bolts loose and drop that away, get it out that way. It's a little quicker. However, those bolts are stretched to yield, and I've actually broke a couple of those, taking them in and out of the car. Really should replace these bolts if you're going to do it right. Got those two bolts out of the courier bearing. The one furthest away from me is the one that goes in the top. Now you could put a screwdriver or something in here and pry this out, or just pull it off. Set it down like this so you know it goes back up like that. The end furthest away from me goes up top, and then I knock those bolts down. I need to set those back up. Put the bolts in there. Now I can swing this out since I pried the control arm down. Swing this back and out, and then I'll be able to pull the axle out of the transmission. I put an oil eater pad under there just in case a little bit of fluid comes out. Usually when I have the car jacked up on one side, no fluid comes out. Came out real easy because I greased the splines when I put them in the hub. That way they don't get stuck in there. And now I could grab it with two hands and just slide this axle out from this transmission. I need to get two hands on it. And the CV axle out, and you see it's out of the transmission and no oil is leaking out. Check and see what kind of boot this was I put on here. The Volvo boots feel like hard plastic. These felt like nice thick rubber. They only lasted about 4 years. I'll put the dates and stuff overlay on the video. But you want boots that'll last a long time. I got lifetime warranty on them, but who wants to do this job over and over again? I don't. The only reason I'm redoing the boots on this axle is because this is a Volvo axle. If it was not a Volvo axle, I would not be redoing the boots. Wow, I just realized that this may not be a Volvo axle. So I am not rebuilding this one. I'm gonna go get one from the house. I can't tell that it's a Volvo axle. So I replaced that Volvo axle somewhere along the road. And I got Volvo axles back at the house. So I'm gonna go get a Volvo axle for this. Let me get to work on the parking brakes and rear brake pads and stuff like that on here. I took a look down there at the pads, and man, the pads look like they're worn out. So I pulled them out. This pad probably got a couple thousand miles left on it. That pad on the inside has a little more. It does have the squeal shims in there, so Maybe the pads over there are gone. But the bump stop is gone. Totally gone. The pin is still in here. Bump stop is gone. Need to work on getting another bump stop for that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this caliper bracket off. 13 millimeters. Get this rotor off. Check the parking brake because they're not holding. Put this rotor on here. I put grease around where the contact is on the inner and outer, so the rotor comes right off. Now you can see that the parking brake material is totally gone. Alright, so I need rear brake pads. I got the shoes already, Volvo, and let me move on to the next task, see if I could do that. This door is busted up. See, it's dented up there and scraped. I don't know how somebody did that. Anyway, I'm going to take that door and put it on here. Maybe that'll go nice and smooth. Now, these doors are supposed to be easy to swap. Now, the thing about the door I got, it's got pinstripe down it, which kind of stinks, but I had to clean that off. So I take the door panel off, which normally results in a mess. I'm going to keep that door latch because that door latch has been modified. I'm going to probably take the mirror. Well, this mirror is stuck. That mirror may not be. I may keep that mirror. And then you loosen that screw, turn that counterclockwise, unplug it, undo this, and take those two E8s loose, lift the door off, set it on the ground. Let's see how that works for me. Last time I had this door panel off, I had all this stuff put together with liquid nail. Now apparently that liquid nail has failed, and now the panel's apart again. So this time I'm going to use contact glue. Star date 2020 338. We're going to use contact glue. Since I don't see any evidence of this being glued, I'm assuming that latch has never been modified and probably doesn't work. However, it does have a 2008 date on it. So this thing is only 12 years old. Anyway, I'm going to put the one in here that I had in the other door because I know it works. And I'm putting the door pull on it. And I'm replacing the window because the window has tint on it. So I think I gotta pull this seal out of here. Pull this seal out of here. I got the door installed. I don't know if it lines up or not yet. I do have it hung in the connector, and I gotta put the screw in the connector. I do have the screw in the check strap, so that's good. So let me go ahead and get this trim out. Get the other trim off. I'm going to roll the window all the way down before I pull those two trims off. And then I'm going to roll the window up, detach the window. That window has good rollers on it, so that's good. And then I'm going to replace the window. I'm going to take this thing here off. Man, that one's riveted, so I got to drill that out. The other one I had has a screw in it. I think I got to get that out. I may not have to take that out to get the latch in and out. I'm going to leave that alone. But let me go ahead and roll the window all the way down. Take the seals off. Roll the window all the way back up. Take the clips out. Take the window out. And then keep putting this thing back together. When I was in the junkyard one day, I pulled one of these connectors off of the motor. So all I got to do is plug it in and hit this thing with my jump box to get the window down. To get these windows down, you put the red on white. To get the windows up, you put the red on green. Just reverse polarity, runs the motor different direction. Let me get these seals off of here so I can get this window out. Get the window out, you gotta have it up that high. And pull those pins out, pop the regulator out, and then lift the window up and out of the frame. Well, this mirror is jacked up too. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. Unplug it here, 3 bolts out here, pull it out with the wire harness, put the other one on. Well, I don't quite remember how far that's supposed to be slid in, but I pulled a bad roller out. It had a crack right there on the green lip of it where the clip goes, and put a good one in. But I don't remember how far this is supposed to go in, so I got it into the last square there. Hopefully that's it. This one doesn't move, this one does, so I really should grease the track in there. Then slide the window in, pop the regulators in there past the clips, and should be good to go. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.